Tel Aviv, Israel. Israel is sending top lawyers, including a Holocaust survivor, to The Hague this week to counter allegations that it is committing genocide against Palestinians. In Gaza, a strong relationship with the International Court of Justice is unusual for Israel, which normally views the United Nations and international courts as unfair and biased. The decision to participate rather than boycott reflects Israel's concerns that judges could order Israel to halt its war against Hamas and tarnish its international. Israel cannot escape such a serious accusation, said Alon Liel, former Director General of the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs and former Israeli ambassador to South Africa. Israel, which has rights and judge as a party to case, appointed former Israeli Supreme Court Chief Judge join court's 15 regular members who will decide on charge. He also named a British lawyer and vaunted international law expert as part of his defense team. Israel hopes its experts will refute South Africa's claim that Israel's military action in Gaza amounts to genocide and prevent an interim court ruling that would force Israel to stop the war. The charge of genocide strikes at the heart of Israel's national identity. The country sees itself as a firewall for Jews after 6 million people were killed in the Holocaust. International support for Israel's founding in 1948 was rooted in anger at Nazi atrocities. That same year, world powers, with Israel's participation, drafted the Convention Against Genocide in the hope of preventing similar atrocities. Israel's military campaign displaced roughly 85% of Gaza's 2.3 million population, leaving many with no home to return to. South Africa, which has long criticized Israel's treatment of Palestinians, filed case at the United Nations High Court in Netherlands. Israel strongly opposes allegations of genocide and says it is waging a war of self-defense after Hamas militants launched an October 7 attack on southern Israel, killing about 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking about 250 hostages. Israel accuses Hamas of settling in residential areas, saying its actions comply with international law and that it is doing its best to prevent harm to civilians. South Africa's 84-page dossier states that Israel's actions, including killing Palestinians and causing serious mental and physical harm, are genocidal. Complying with such a decision would be politically costly for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Israelis still largely support the war. Israel will also fall short of its declared goal of crushing the militant group. If these rules are not followed, Israel could face UN sanctions. Although Israel's closest ally, the United States, could veto such a move, doing so would anger many Democrats dissatisfied with President Joe Biden for his strong support for Israel in the war. This could hurt Biden as he seeks re-election. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said on Tuesday that the lawsuit was meritl.